Hello everyone. Thank you for stopping by and watching my videos. We all know who Apostle Peter is, and he was the disciple of Jesus. Well, did you know by two different religions, Apostle Peter was loafing behind Jesus' back? He was forming two different religions under his name. Well, the Catholic people believe that he was the first pope. The watchtower saying that he was the first governing body. That's what I just said. The first governing body of future of Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm going to play something and then we have some fun. Here we go.
First among the apostles. Maybe not that he would verbally tell you that, but by his actions, by what came out of his mouth, it betrayed what was in Peter's heart. Now, verse 31. Jesus is foretelling here that all of you will be stumbled in connection with me on this night. Now notice Peter's attitude. And he loves his master. No way would I ever do that. But notice how he views himself in relation to the other disciples. Verse 33. But Peter answered, said to him, although all the others are stumbled in connection with you, never will I be stumbled. Right? You see Peter here? In verse 35, Peter said to him, even if I should have to die with you, I will by no means disown you. Yes, Lord, not me. Of course, Peter did have deep love for his master, but you can see his attitude in relation to the others, that he wanted to be first. But then later on that night, what happened? In verse 69, here now Peter was recognized, exposed as being a follower of Christ. And suppose you were a little mouse in the corner, sitting there in the courtyard, you were an early Christian, a Bible study, and you knew Peter, you knew who he was. And in verse number 74, it says, then he started to curse and swear. Not profanity, but saying, put me under a curse. And I swear by the God of heaven and by the gold of the temple, I do not know the man. And immediately the cup grew. So if you were a Bible study, you looked at Peter and said, and here Jesus needs him in this darkest hour. And look at what Peter, how he's carrying on to be stumbled. He's a prominent man in the Christian congregation. So Peter's overconfident, I'm more faithful than they are attitude contributed to a terrible crash. Verse 75, he wept bitterly. But now here's the thing. 50 days later, you see that Peter is a member of the governing body. And he's elected to be the special speaker on the day of Pentecost, which opened up the door of faith to the Jews. And you might reason, well, what's going on here? You know, here he's a member of the governing body. Who's running this organization? If it had been up to me, if I was an elder, he would have never made it. I would have never recommended him for that position. A man who would crack like that under the pressure, doesn't have a fine testimony to people on the outside, to have such a responsible position, I would have seen to it that he would never receive an assignment service for years in a congregation. A person might think that way. But there he was. And the person might further doubt, is this really God's organization? Or men running this?
Let's stop right there. First off, Peter was not the future of the governing body, which would have been future Jehovah's Witnesses. Two, Peter wasn't predicting the world was going to end in the dates that the watchtower predicted or the governing body predicted. So how can you compare Peter to the governing body today? And Peter knew God's name, and it wasn't Jehovah. So for anyone thinking that Peter didn't deserve his position where Christ put him, then shame on him, because Peter is in heaven. Christ said to his disciples, "Where I go, you will follow." So if Peter wasn't worthy to have his position after Christ died, then he wasn't worthy to go to heaven. Now, let's go back to the governing body. These men are not worthy to go to heaven for all the lies, deceits, and to cover up all the child molesters all over the world in Jehovah's Witness congregations. Would that make them worthy to be in God's kingdom? I'll leave that answer to you. To me, the murderers, the con artists, the stealing money from Jehovah's Witnesses and saying, "Oh, this money is going to the preaching work, and it's going to pay lawyers and lawyers and lawyers for child molesting court cases," because their own members, elders, minister servants, and regular members are molesting kids in the congregation. Peter would not become a Catholic. He would not become the future of Jehovah's Witnesses. And no, he was not a governing body. He never took a position as a governing body. And the word governing body is not in the Bible. Now, if it's in Jehovah's Witnesses' Bible, it's because they put it there. So, people, you have to wake up. Peter's position was permanent. Christ only got rid of one person, and that's the one who betrayed him. And they got another one to fill his place. So if Peter wasn't worthy, Christ would never open the doors for him to go to heaven. So that's all I have to say. Because if you do your research on Jehovah's Witnesses, like we all have, when we was in this so-called true religion, we woke up. We was mental disease in this organization because we was under hypnosis, brain control, and when some people trying to point out this is wrong religion, yeah, we was mental disease because we didn't open our minds up to hear a person out, to see if they have proof, to see if you are in a false religion. People, you should welcome the challenge when someone says you're in the wrong religion or you're in a cult. Should let them show you proof. What's wrong with showing the proof? Unless you're scared if that person could be 100% right, that you've been following men and not what God's word tells you to follow Christ. So if you're a Jehovah's Witness or someone learning about Jehovah's Witnesses, I'm going to tell you something. I was on that side of the fence. And I pray my mother and father would have rejected the lady that brought him into this religion. It destroyed our family, shunned my grandparents because they wasn't Jehovah's Witnesses. You don't gain nothing by destroying the people you love. When religions and cults do that, it's called brain control. People, please wake up. Thank you, and have a nice day.